friends, and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Allie, and I am the founder of Aquarian Soul, the original crystal-infused apothecary and author. My channel is all about herbs, crystals, and plant magic. Today, we're going to be making a recipe from my newest book, Ritual Baths for the Beginner Witch. It comes out this Tuesday, May 23rd, and I'm so excited to share it with all of you. So stay tuned for next week when I'm going to be showing you guys a video that I filmed during the book launch party. But today, we're going to be making a magical ability bath tea, and it's used to enhance your own magical abilities. It boosts your confidence, personal power, and opens your psychic abilities while doing spell work or rituals. So if this sounds like something you'd like to make, let's get started. You're going to need a glass jar of any kind with a lid, and you're also going to need a Heliodor stone. And Heliodor is a golden beryl. It carries the energy of the sun, it illuminates higher thoughts, and has a very balancing quality to it. It radiates rays of knowledge, gives you mental strength, and it's a great stone for students. It makes you assertive, brings confidence and strength. It also helps you learn whatever you need to promote change in your reality, helping you to accomplish your dreams and goals. Next, you are going to need sandalwood, and sandalwood is great for magical workings. It centers you and allows you to become spiritually focused. It enhances meditation, trance work, and divination of any kind. It can be used to enhance opportunities and success in realizing your manifestations and goals for your rituals. Pine resin is used to bring you magical protection, and it's also considered a very sacred tree. Not only is it protective, but it helps clear and purify any negative energy. If you can't find any pine resin, you could just substitute dried pine needles, or you could just omit it completely. Star anise is a very lucky herb. Because of its star shape, I like to think of these as little herbal good luck charms that you can kind of just carry on their own. It's associated with the Fool card in tarot, so it helps you learn to trust and feel a sense of optimism and joy in the unknown, which I think is a very important thing when you're learning about magic just in general. Orange peel, as you can imagine, is a very uplifting, positive herb. Since they're ruled by the sun, they contain all the properties of strength, determination, and confidence. Oranges help you attain success, particularly in love and prosperity workings, but it can be used for any kind of intention you are using this for. Lemon peel is used much in the same way as oranges. Citruses, in general, have an overarching set of properties that both clear out what is no longer needed and bring in positivity and joy. For this tea, lemons are going to be used to cleanse away any self-doubt, negative thoughts, or anything holding you back from believing in your own magical abilities. Frankincense is a very magical and spiritual resin. It has a long history of ritual and ceremonial uses and is ruled by the sun. It has a balance of feminine and masculine energies and allows the divine to manifest here in the mundane, meaning it has the ability to help you achieve your desires here in this reality. It also assists your consciousness to remain more focused during rituals. Myrrh is almost always associated with frankincense. But myrrh has a more mysterious, almost darker undertone, and it helps you expand your wisdom to become more spiritually aware and move deeper into those mysterious depths. Myrrh opens your mind to more subtle, unseen worlds of magic, almost as if you're perceiving it tangibly, and it helps you incorporate these perceptions into your ritual work and your life in general. The last herb you will be needing is mugwort, and mugwort is also a very magical herb. It's a very witchy herb. It's considered a visionary herb that helps with astral travel, dream work, and divination. Mugwort is linked to the moon card in tarot, which opens you up to a very watery, dreamy state in which you can fully trust your intuition, psychic awareness, and magical ability. In a bowl, you're going to start adding in your ingredients, and for whatever reason I didn't film this, but you could just clean your bowl with some incense, Florida water, or smoke from any of the herbs in this recipe. You could just put them over a little charcoal and just fumigate out your jar also, of course, and your bowl and your spoon, any tools that you're going to be using. And here I was just showing you, you could enchant your herbs one by one as you add them, either by laying your hands over it, speaking your words of intention, or stirring it clockwise. Clockwise is always used to bring things in, and counterclockwise is to banish and get rid of things. So as you can see, I'm just adding these herbs one by one, and you can do it all at the end if you like, if you're feeling lazy, but I was just giving them a little bit of a stir between each addition. And I think because I was also filming a shorter version of this for Instagram, I forgot to do a couple of steps, but this is what pine resin looks like in its natural form. I actually collected these from a pinon pine up here in the mountains, so they come in big chunks or little chunks. It depends where you find them on the tree. And of course, you don't really want to pick the resin off a live tree, mainly because the pine resin is sort of like the liquid band-aid that the tree excretes to cover up any wounds. But if you find any like dead trees on the ground or branches that have fallen, of course, you're always free to do what you want, but it's better to pick them from those types of places. Or if a tree has a ton of resin, maybe just picking off a couple pieces. But as I said earlier, you can just use pine needles, which I think is probably more readily available to people, but I think you could maybe find pine resin in a store. I don't know. They all have very similar properties, so I always say during recipes, if you don't have one or two of the ingredients, you could just omit them. I think for me, the most, I don't want to say important, but some of the most integral herbs in this recipe would probably be the frankincense, myrrh, star anise, and mugwort. And then if you don't have some of the other herbs, you could omit them. Or if you have a fresh orange, just keep those orange peels and dry them for later. You don't have to buy these things from a metaphysical shop or online or anything. If you have mugwort growing near you, you could just dry them for later. Or if you're feeding your kid a tangerine for their lunch, or you're eating or making lemonade or something, just keep the rinds and dry them and keep them for later. Once you're done putting all your herbs in the bowl, you're going to want to give it a final little mix. And you could grind these all in a mortar and pestle if you wanted to, or you could leave them kind of chunky like this. It just depends. Like if you're adding this to a bath, if you're putting it in a tea bag, which you could also do, by the way, I didn't really mention it, but you could either keep them in a jar and use this as a like loose leaf tea in your bath. But I know a lot of people don't like to clean up all those little chunks floating, which is easy to me. You just use a sieve at the end to just scoop the top of the water. But you could also put these in little heat sealable tea bags that you could probably get at an herb shop or a natural food store, and just seal them up, and that way your tub remains mess free. Anyway, so to charge this, you could either use the crystal or candles, or both, which I'm going to do. And you could use either orange, purple, or blue. They all kind of resonated with this to me. Blue's more for spiritual awareness and intuition, expanding the mind. And purple is very similar to that, like spiritual power, psychic ability, expanding your consciousness. But orange to me represents more of personal power, success, stimulating your own energy. So that's what I decided to use. But you could use either of these candles, or you could form a little triangle if you have access to all this stuff. Like, you don't need to be buying all this stuff just to charge up your tea. One candle's fine, but if you like to be extra like I do, you could use a little triangle with all three of those candles right on top of your herb mixture. Or if you've already placed it in a jar, you could just put it next to your jar and put the crystal inside of the jar. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so excited to share my new book with you guys. This was one of the recipes from the book, and I should have 2 more videos coming out with recipes from the book, but if not, check it out this Tuesday. It'll finally be released, and thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!